everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you're new here, I unbox subscription boxes and more. Today I have the monthly subscription of Birdmoss, which you know is one of my new favorites. And the theme is hollowtree. Meet the hollowtree, whatever you'd like to say. And this is for August of 2022. And I literally received this today, and they said the curator gave us a heads up email that there was a live plant in here, so I wanted to make sure I got it out right away, and I thought, why not unbox it, and you'll see why. And I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So if you guys want to see what I got in the August Birdmoss, then please stay tuned. So if you haven't seen any of my previous Birdmoss unboxings, I'll give you a quick rundown, but I highly recommend you check out the intro video because I go over that, the subscription and what the box is about more in depth, because this isn't your average subscription. We are playing the dreamers here, and we basically are going to be going through a story while doing the unboxing, which is super cool, and I've found to be lots of fun as well as very relaxing. The curator likes to say that it's like getting a daydream in the mail, works of art and self-care rituals that engage all of the senses to create an immersive, magical experience. And that's exactly what unboxing this is. It's an experience. And we have poetry and prose like lined throughout, intertwined between the items, which makes it really nice. And tells of the gifted dreamer, and we are the dreamers in this group. In this box, we are the dreamers. So every month we have the same poem at the top. I love reading it each and every time. This is the start of it all, when finally dusk begins to fall. I muffle the day's noises and needs. It starts with a tug, a beckoning scent, a rustle, the faint rattle of seeds. You didn't know that you were missing from a story pairing forward. In another place, you break the seal and feel the skating brush of a wing. Sorry, I had a little bit of a glare there. But so look at this beautiful silver with the dark blue. I love their colors of tissue paper. They've alternated between, I've seen dark blue, dark green, just pretty foresty stuff. So imagine this is a note about our plant. And when I open it up, we see the hollowtree and offerings. And I'm also seeing a hint, guys. I think I know what we're going to get. So I'm super excited. This will start our story officially. And then this explains our very first plant item. So why don't I read the story and we start along. So this is a gorgeous art print, I might add. This might be one of my favorite ones. Well, I like the frog. I like all of them. I love their art prints. Let's put it that way. So crows, foxes, bees, and squirrels, all of them make occasional journeys to honor the hollowtree. The hollowtree is both living and dead. Her heartwood has decayed, but her cavernous center is scaffolded by vigorous, growing sapwood. Existing in the space between, she possesses knowledge of mysteries both beautiful and dark. Her visitors whisper to her about their hopes, fears, and questions. They bring her precious tokens, feathers, pebbles, seed casings. Some bring those offerings to thank her for her insight. Others bring them to declare a deep affection which words cannot express. I really, really love that. And I actually remember, I remember my botany class and what heartwood is and everything. That is so cool. And in this print, we've got a bird, we've got a squirrel. This is like hidden pictures from the days of highlight as children. The offerings are down here. This is really cool. The really good matching between the prose there and what's depicted. So here's your sneak peek, guys. That might give you a big hint, but we're gonna go along through our product guide for the rest of this, and I am so excited, you guys. Let's see, and I love her product guides. They've always got these little handwritten notes, which I do have trouble reading sometimes, and Shannon, who's the curator, I do apologize when I have trouble reading them. And unfortunately, I didn't turn my backlight on today, and I can't reach it at the moment, and I'm all set up. But anyway, I digress. You join a procession making their way through the forest. Why not? Visions in the darkness. Okay. How young we are, how little we know. Wow, that can't be more true. Especially, like, think of the history of Earth and how we are just tiny little specks in the whole evolutionary history of the life of Earth and versus the life of the universe. And I could go on and on. So I just like to go in order because we kind of get the story the best that way. So I'll pull out the first item. Now this is interesting. I would almost expect to find this in an artisan box. It's very unique. We've got different beads between each little piece. We've got a little bell here on the end. You could almost use this as a wind chime, but it's actually a colorful garland. I like this end too. Got some nice colorful cordage here, tied off in a knot at the end. This is really cool. I guess this is probably going to be one of the offerings that we give the tree, maybe. It says, as you approach the hollow tree, you hear a gentle hubbub of bells, chimes, and rattling seeds. The tree is adorned with weather-worn flags and hangings. A colorful garland of birds catches your eye. I thought these might look like birds. They seem like they kind of did. They had like a bird shape to them if you put it vertically. But I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure. This is really cool. I love it. It's supposed to represent birds. That's really different. And then it says each bird in the strand signifies a generation. So many birds and their ancestors have made this journey. Wow, that's really cool. So yeah, that's the cool item. You can decide where you'd want to put this. Maybe if you've got a collection of other things from Birdmoss, something like that. All right, yes, I am so excited about this item, you guys. I did see it spoiled on social media. I was hoping that meant that it was coming into the box. We've got a mini pin or brooch of a bird, and I was right to say that they used this somewhere else when they were advertising the box, but this is a bird called a nuthatch, which I had pointed out somewhere else, maybe on an Instagram story or something like that. You guys, I share a lot of spoilers of boxes on my Instagram stories, a lot of coupons, a lot of discount codes, notifications of giveaways. You guys really want to look at my Instagram stories. They usually have some pretty important information about subscriptions and the last day to order and things like that. So this is amazing. It's by something company called LF. So let's read about it. Maybe that'll tell us more. I think that is absolutely, I love it. The tree is host to some permanent residents, in addition to the many sojourners who pass through. A legacy of nuthatches tend to the tree, feeding on the ants that traipse in swirling patterns between the outside and inside of her trunk. They cache their seeds and nuts in her bark, creating dotted lined patterns. One bold nuthatch alights on your collar. Alights, wow, that's a word. Then investigates the folds in your clothes. That's kind of cute. These birds and insects that pass in and out of the hollow are known to have visions. And it asks, will you? That's what Shannon put in. That's really, really, really neat. I love this item. I can just tell you, this is something my grandmother, I got my love of nature from my mom and my grandmother both, but they both immersed me in nature all the time. I basically grew up outdoors and in a horse farm. But anyway, my grandmother would have loved this pin. She absolutely would have loved this. She would have worn it a lot. I know that's for sure. But anyway, we shall move on. All right, so now we have it. We have our living plant, and you guys, this is Spanish moss. So we have our birds and we have our moss. So I was wondering, now granted I didn't start at the beginning of the subscription. I think there was almost maybe a full year before I found it. Maybe not quite. I'd have to look up when she started and how many boxes were out. But I was wondering when the actual name Birdmoss would come into play. However, this actually, even though this is called Spanish moss, I know for a fact, before we even get into the paperwork, that this is actually a leafy flowering plant. This is actually not a moss in the least. So I am super excited about this. Let's see what she has to say. It's a nest of moss, that's for sure. I can see a bird. I wish I had this when I had Decocrated. In the spring, if you guys remember those bluebirds that came with my Decocrated box, the little one especially would have fit perfectly. This would have worked fantastically for their nest. But anyway, this is technically still a real plant. You know, I'm going to be probably caring for it and everything. So we're going to see what they what Shannon suggests using it for. So in this part of the forest, silvery moss drips from the trees, sometimes called crone's hair. It is used by the nuthatches in their nesting rituals. They stuff it inside holes in trees to create living, growing nests imbued with protective properties. It calls up the wisdom of the crones, the oversight of ancestors, and the abiding love of the hollow tree. You receive a generous portion of crone's hair, as well as a wooden hoop and length of cord to help you display it. Oh, cool. So Shannon says to build a nest of moss, which living grows to embrace your wall, precious eggs. I think that's what that says. Okay, that leads into the next item. So we won't quite go that far on the spoilers yet. So there's a hoop and a cord in here, which I think I saw. Yes, here it is. So this is kind of a wooden material. Yeah, hoop and cord. I don't really know what to do with this. I'm hoping the Facebook group, they do have a private Facebook group for everyone who subscribes, and I have really enjoyed it. A lot of people have posted some really cool pictures, and I definitely want to see what everyone does with this. So right on top, she provided a whole sheet of care instructions for the moss, in case you guys are wondering. So there's an abundant portion of silvery Spanish moss, and it gives the botanical name. It's not a true moss, it's a flowering air plant. Wow, that's okay. That's basically what I just said. I did not realize it was a type of air plant, but obviously kind of the fact that it's not in soil right now, that makes a lot of sense. So it says it's normal to find twigs and leaves from other plants amongst your moss. It's also normal for the moss to be dry and brown after its trip through the mail. Your moss was treated with an organic pesticide with a very short half-life. Well, I'm definitely washing my hands after this unboxing. Okay. So it just says to revive your moss with a quick splash of water. I already did that earlier today when it arrived, but might need to do that a little more from the looks of it. Drain it thoroughly. Going forward, mist it a few times a week, or dunk it in water every week or two. So it loves humidity and might be happy in the bathroom, but it does not like to be soaking wet, so don't leave it submerged, and it usually does well in partial to full sun. Now see, my bathroom doesn't have a window, nor any counter space or anything to store it, although I guess this is meant to be hung. I don't know. What do I do? How do I get light and humidity at the same time? I think I just have to make sure I water it frequently, and keep it by the window. Okay, got it. Your box includes a kit to create a hanging display, or you can simply drape your moss over a bowl. I hope you share photos of your moss on the Facebook group to subscribers. I look forward to seeing how you display it. Okay, so we're going to have some creative liberties here, which with Shannon does not surprise me in the least. So that's a lot of fun. I really wish we had a little bird figurine to put in there and really make a nest. But leading to that was the next item. All right, we actually do. Look at this. By the way, cute box. But in here we actually do have a tiny egg. This is adorable. Really adorable. Now, there's a hole at the top, which makes you think this is going to be maybe part of the kit. It's really lightweight, but we're going to put it right there for now. And it looks like our bird parents need to come home and tend to it. So in one of the nests, you discover a tiny egg. It is empty and light as a feather. Yeah, it really was. There is a bit of liminal magic in all hollows, even one as small and fragile as this one. You could speak one precious wish into the egg, and then keep it safe so that you I think that's supposed to say your wish, that your wish has a place to come to life. Or crumble it into a protective powder to dust the cracks in your home. Wow, I wouldn't want to crumble it, but it's good to know that it's easily crumbled. That's why it came in such a protective box. It does really feel like an egg. It feels like a real eggshell. I mean, I don't think it is, but it's got that weight. It's like that tiny little hole. I mean, that's incredible. That is so cool. You can put a wish in there, and I hope that it comes true. And she's got a little drawing of a nest and an egg, which I love too. All right, so look at this gorgeous, again, we have wood, which makes total sense. We've got a hollow tree. I love that there's so many wooden items in here. This is called a rough hewn bowl, and I just love this. I really love this. The patterns on this are just gorgeous. This is really, really pretty. I mean, you could also put your egg in there, I guess, if you wanted. It's really kind of too small to even, I guess you could put a tiny bit of Spanish moss in here if you wanted, because it does say another thing you can do with it is drape it over a bowl, but I would definitely recommend a smaller bowl, or a larger bowl than this. I knew that there were kind of two separate pieces, but yeah, it's you'd have to really play with it. I think I like it better as kind of like a nest formation for right now, but this bowl is stunningly beautiful. So let's see what it has to say. Earlier this year, during a thunderstorm, the hollow tree dropped a limb. Because every part of her is precious, the wood scraps were salvaged to make small bowls. They are rough hewn, H-E-W-N, and knotted. However, the holes, cracks, and ripples have their own beauty. They are the bits that remain of decades of memories, foraging birds, burrowing creatures, jostling winds, droughts, lightning strikes, voices raised in song, tinkling bells. If you choose, you can use your bowl to share an offering from your own world with the hollow tree. And Shannon writes at the bottom, while inside the hollow tree, you glimpse a village lit by lanterns. One by one, the lights go out, and the village becomes silent. And there's this is I actually have a spoiler for September. This is a hint to that spoiler, a jar of something sparkling. I am so excited. I can't wait to tell you guys about September. Alright, so there's one more note on the side that Shannon has written out. It says, your dream into the hollow tree. And I'm not sure if this says like easing or casing past the bark. I think easing makes the most sense, but I'm not entirely sure there. So anyway, this is the box for August, the hollow tree box. What do you guys think? What's your favorite item? I like this curation as a whole. Again, I think it was done really well. All the items are put together. Honestly, I wouldn't call getting a cord and a hoop, I wouldn't really call that a kit to display the moss. I do have one idea that I'm going to try real quick and then come back on camera, but I really like this box. My favorite item is definitely the nuthatch pin. This just is near and dear to my heart and actually just so special to me. It's beautiful. It's almost making me want to cry. It's so beautiful, and I really love this art print as well. That's gorgeous. And the Spanish moss is a really cool addition. I love it, getting things like this. Anything living. Another earlier box had a jar of moss before I was subscribed, and sometimes you can find it in her shop. Occasionally you can find a jar of moss to take care of. But as you guys know, there's always a spoiler for next month, so let's get into that. And one thing I do want to note, I always forget to say it in the beginning now, but I do have use the code Jessie, capital Jessie. I'll put it in the screen right here to save you $7 off of your first box. Now I must say that to any new subscribers, the boxes have gone up in price by $5 now to $45. They were originally $39.99. But that's to be expected, as you guys know. A lot to almost all of the subscription boxes are doing that. But anybody who is still subscribed is getting is still, if you're still subscribed from before, you are getting your original $39.99 price. So at this moment, I believe, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am. Oh, nice. So she's got a $5 off coupon in the store for us this month to use in the store, and all the socials on the card as usual. And then we get this little envelope that I'm guessing is going to be a spoiler for next month, for September's box, which, guys, can I already say I am so excited about September. And I was very excited about this as well. There was something. Lately we've been getting charms. I don't know if you guys have noticed the pattern. Charms in every little spoiler at the end. So this is what we have this time. Let you guys see it before I see it. Let's see what this is. Looks like a jelly bean, but I know that can't be it. I don't really know what it is. It does look, it might, I really need better lighting where I am. There might be a hole in the top. Let me read the little card. All right. I'm going to put him right in the bowl. The darkest corner of the hollow tree offers a tiny, shining well glyph, like WELL-GLYPH. Because it was plucked from the moon well, it will help you find your way. Breathe over it in your mind's eye. A silver strand unfurls, leading you into the ink black forest. So next, find the moon well. All right, so we are going to the moon well, ladies and gentlemen. And because this is already on social media, I feel like I can say it. But guys, guess what? We are getting in next month's box luminous plankton. So if you think the Spanish moss is something living and cool, we've got luminous plankton coming our way. And gosh, am I excited. I'm assuming this is supposed to represent the sparkles and shimmers of the luminous plankton in the moon well. If you've seen my stories over the past 24 hours, well, as in like of Sunday the 21st to Monday the 22nd, you would have seen that I was advertising that it would be getting luminous plankton and that September's theme was the moon well. So if you've seen my stories, you've already known this, but if not, I highly recommend following the Instagram. I try to keep up with stories way more than I keep up with my feed. So there's a lot more going on in the stories, you guys. So I know I have gone on a lot as usual, but I think this box always deserves it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are for Moonwell. I've never really heard of those two terms put together, and I'm very excited about it. I mean, unless she's talking like complete bioluminescence, but even then, that's just combining water and the moon. And you know, I love anything lunar, anything with the moon. So, without further ado, guys, just thank you so much for hanging out with me as I unbox August's Birdmoss box, Meet the Hollow Tree. And if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps me, it helps my channel. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.